Hi, this is Jerry,
I'm Gerald.
and we're going to be looking at natural remedies for swollen tonsils. Is there such a thing? I think there is. And I think that most likely you, as a paramedic, might have even come across some kind of problems where a person has radically infected tonsils or some kind of
Usually called tonsillitis.
tonsillitis. I'm sure that someone's called 911.
Well, usually they call 911 because it has progressed to a point where it's affected other things. And chiefly, 911 is when you have something compromising your life now. And so maybe your airway is compromised. And so if you've got tonsillitis to the point that you're having trouble breathing or swallowing, call 911. But up until that point, maybe we should talk about...
Let's talk about natural remedies. What do you think might be a natural remedy for swollen tonsils, in the sense that we need to... Why is it swollen in the first place? It's infected or it's irritated? What would the...
Inflammation, yeah. Inflammation. So if you can decrease inflammatory markers, things that cause inflammation, so that way, body-wide, your mouth tells you a lot.
Okay.
Your mouth and your digestion tell you a lot about what you can expect out of your next day, and by what you're putting in yourself, you can change that, modify that, make it better sleep, decrease alcohol, increase hydration. If you can stomach it, maybe light fasting. There's no pun intended in stomaching that. Just try to decrease the things that may cause inflammation from the get-go.
That's absolutely true. I find something that's very common when I deal in the clinic with people who have various inflammation responses, and in most cases their bowel is not operating properly. They don't have as good a flora in their gut as they need, and there's other problems associated with that. We don't need to get into that, but the idea is that your immunity essentially is derived from the quality of the flora in your gut. So one of the things, in order to start fighting back the swelling, is to increase the quality of the flora that you have in your gut, and that would be with immediately starting with 80 to 100 billion units of probiotic strain. That's at least 30 strains of bacteria. Increase the amount of liquids that you're taking in, because I've yet to see anybody come in that's drinking the proper amount. And if I've heard 8 glasses of water once, I've heard it 1,000 times. And I always play the game. Okay, if that's true, a 100-pound person just walked in. I asked them, it's 8 glasses of water a day. 300-pound person walks in, it's 8 glasses of water a day. Something doesn't add up. So let me give you the formula. It's half your weight in ounces. So if you're 100 pounds, you drink 50 ounces of water a day. So what has that all got to do? Well, swollen tonsils have a lot of toxin, and they need to get rid of that toxin. And if you have enough hydration, when you sleep, your lymphatic system is going to kick in and start carrying away a lot of those toxins. And if the lymph system is burdened with the improper amount of fluids in the body, you can really cause a lot of problems by not drinking enough liquid, and your blood volume will drop, and definitely your volume of fluids for your lymphatic system drops. And you start feeling little nodes here and there that are sore. Well, those are trying to help fight the infection. So let's talk about something else. I would use some colloidal silver, say 20 parts per million of colloids of silver, and I would put in a little bit of salt, and I would gargle with that 3 times a day minimum. I would gargle with that over and over and over. I would use oil pulling of the teeth, because sometimes the tonsils become infected because somebody isn't using proper dental hygiene for their teeth, and their gums may be swollen as well. So you want to back away from those problems. Now, as far as antibiotics, You go take an antibiotic, it might help, but the problem is it's going to wipe out most of the good flora in your gut. So then now you're compromised with any other kinds of infections, and you stand a chance of maybe becoming ill from some other pathogen that's coming along. So you don't want to go that direction. So what do? There is a material out there called resveratrol. Can you tell me a couple aspects about resveratrol, things that are really powerful about it?
Yeah, so it can combat the systemic effects of aging, which are usually a cumulative progression of things that basically keep you down. And so it's
what about inflammation,
inflammatory markers, and
it's
just a lot. There's a lot of stuff, but some of it's just in the broad sense contributing to well, let's get back to resveratrol. So resveratrol it's extracted from the skins of grapes.
Purple skins, purple grapes.
And it can, what a lot of people say is if you drink enough red wine, it's good to go, but sometimes taking it in supplementary form can give you that active ingredient, much the way aspirin comes from
willow
trees. Yeah,
trees.
So if you're going to, intensify that, why not intensify this? And so this is one of those examples. And resveratrol can help you decrease that inflammatory.
Let me tell you about the dosage. In the case of red wine, you would have to drink what I'm going to recommend. You'd have to drink about 4,000 gallons a day to get the equivalent. It's a problem. You have to go down the hall too often, but that's not the main problem. But if you take 400 to 600 milligrams, and if it's really bad infection, you take 600 to 1,200 milligrams of resveratrol in a particular case for some kind of infections. Resveratrol has the ability to attack molds, funguses, viruses, and bacteria all at the same time. It's very, very powerful. That's why the grape plant uses it, and it also works for humans that way. Now, it has another amazing benefit for people with, say you have arthritis. It has a huge ability at high levels to reduce inflammation, massively reduce inflammation. So if you're inflamed in your tonsils, one of the things is you'd like to get the inflammation down, but you don't really want to have a lot of side effects. You don't want to take a lot of aspirin. You can burn a hole in your stomach, or a lot of other materials. That's a really powerful material to use. And also, if you're in a situation where your tonsils are infected, I have used, and a lot of my clients in the clinic have used up to somewhere between 2 and 4 ounces of 20 parts per million colloidal silver consumed over a period of 10 days. That every day for 10 days. And that has really knocked down some of the infections that they're encountering. So those are pretty much what I have for today. And until next time, we're going to look forward to hearing more from you, exciting information that we're ready to give to you because you ask. And thank you again for the very kind words and our effort. We bring these videos to you every single day. So it's powerful. Now, I've asked my son to return. You're going to be able to join us again soon. And there's a lot of value to hearing what somebody who's on the front lines of being a paramedic has to say as well. So I'm very, very pleased with your contributions today, and I really look forward to the future. Until next time, this is Gerald.
And that's Jerry.
Yeah. So you have a good day. Be well.